Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Comfort, and I'm starting this series where I come with one question, one in a week, and I answer questions that people have asked me over the years and are still asking me regarding special education. So a little bit about who I am and my background. I am an educator with a passion for supporting students with disabilities. My education journey from the time I started my associate all the way to my doctorate level has always been education. I have never wavered to any field of studies except special education. So basically, my mission is simple. I want to support adults working with students with disabilities. The reason why this is a passion for me is because my personal learning disabilities was ignored and not identified as a child. So I believe educating one adult at a time can get a child with disability closer to their highest potential. So that is my why, to educate an adult who takes care of a student or a child with disability, helping them to reach closer or to reach to their highest potential. So let's get into this week's question. So the question that I was asked is, it says, how I define good special education teaching. Let's go a little bit backwards. The word good is subjective because it is influenced by a person's belief or feeling rather than being based on fact. Okay, so example, if I ask a student A, what do you think about teacher John? They will have a different perspective. And I will ask another kid in the same class, what do you think about teacher John? That student will express a different belief or feeling towards that teacher. So what I think is a good teacher teaching style or any form of teaching is going to be different from what you think is good. My take on the question is that good special education teaching is about motivating students. So that is the basic there for me. Motivating student is good special education teaching. But to get that motivation going in your teaching, there's 3 ingredients that you should make sure you have in your teaching basket. All right. And that is that the teaching must be relevant. The teaching must be meaningful. The teaching must be memorable. Okay. So what did I mean by these 3 ingredients that must be in your teaching basket in order for you to be good, in order for you to have good teaching strategies, or in order for you to be considered as a good teacher, special education teacher. So when I say relevant teaching, what I'm saying is, how can the student, right, use the skill being taught? How can they use it? The relevance of it. Because you are thinking about the student's future, right? And the future can be the next lesson, the next day, the next class. So the future, it doesn't have to be 10 years along the line. It can be in a week from now. It can be tomorrow from now, So it had to be relevant. How can the student use the skill being taught in the future? The second ingredient is meaningful teaching. Creating opportunities to share, celebrate, and also honor, right, the student identity. Okay, so in order for us to make teaching meaningful, we have to create the opportunity to share, to celebrate, to honor, right, the student's identity. And if you're able to do that, you are making the teaching meaningful, right? Now, the third ingredient, which is making the teaching memorable. To make it memorable, it involves you engaging the student in a personal or in a community connected learning. What do I mean by that? So you can do that by virtually exposing the student to something that they are learning in order for them to be engaged in the teaching, or you can locally introduce the child to something that is related to the teaching in order for the student to be engaged in a personal way. That's when the teaching becomes memorable. All right. So how then can we make the teaching relevant, meaningful, and memorable? In order to do that, we have to listen to our student. We have to be able to come up with thought-provoking questions. We have to be responsive. You just don't sit there passively as a teacher. You have to be really engaged, responsive to the student. And most importantly, you have to remember that each student and class is different. When I say class, a teacher may teach more than one class of the same subject, if maybe. So if class A, say English class, and class B is the same English class, but class A seems to get your materials and able to engage in your teaching, but class B seems to be struggling with the same content you are teaching. So you have to remember that it's not just the student at DATSS is different. The class itself is also different, right? So you have to be constantly listening, questioning, and being responsive to the student. When you do that, you are going to make your teaching relevant, meaningful, and responsive. I will definitely say teaching is about caring, nurturing, and developing the minds and talent of your student. for me is developing myself and devoting my time that is often not seen by the students that I work for. I hope I was able to answer it and you understood or understand what I'm saying. That being said, if you have any questions for special education, whether you are a mom, dad, grandparents, auntie, uncle, as long as you are someone, an adult that is taking care of a student with disability and you have questions, reach out to me. Send me an email. You can go to my website, send me an email. You can DM me, or you can leave a comment on this, and I will try my best to answer your question. And also, if you want to go further and having a one-to-one with me, you can book a free 30-minute call and let's talk about it. Let's talk about your particular situation and how I can support you in being the best teacher you can be for the individual that you're taking care of that have special education needs. All right. So I leave you with this. Let's all work together to get one child, just one child, closer to their highest potential. Okay? It's because this journey of special education in supporting our loved ones who are struggling, as I said, I myself had learning disability that was not diagnosed, that was not identified, and I struggled through my junior, middle school and high school. And to reach this stage in my life, my educational journey, and coming to understand the principles behind learning, it's mind-blowing. And I would love to talk with you. I would love to answer your questions that relate to special education and how I can support your loved ones that you are taking care of. So thank you. Stay blessed, and I'll see you another week from now with another question. So I'm saying goodbye. Thank you.
For further information or to support us, please contact us, Irvington, New Jersey, 07111, United States of America, or visit DATSS.org. DATSS, supporting teachers of students with disabilities.